All right. Hey, everyone. Anthony Iannone here. Just going to be our official first podcast in the pizza biz. Should be exciting. We're here at the North American Pizza and Culinary Academy, and excited to talk to our first guest. We got Keith from High Society Pizza. I've been hearing a lot about this guy and what's going on at his operation. So it's exciting to have him as our first one. How we doing, Keith?
Awesome. Doing good, Anthony. Thanks for introducing me here.
Yeah, welcome. Appreciate you coming on, taking time. I know you guys are rock and rolling out there, so we greatly appreciate you coming on. So, what's go? Tell us. Why don't you tell everybody? Give me your full name and where you're from and what kind of operation you got out there.
Yeah, my name is Keith Nagle, and I've been doing pizza now professionally for 16 years. I started my own business venture in 2018, and I started a pizza food truck. That was quite the adventure, and we're still doing it today. But it got so popular, I started a second food truck, and now I finally own my first brick and mortar that's been open now for almost a year.
Good for you. And where exactly are you located?
Yeah, we're in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. So we're in the suburbs of Colorado.
Very cool. It's a big pizza business out there. Now it's been growing, huh?
It really has. I would say a lot of people are straying away from maybe downtown Denver, and a lot of the shops are trying to move out towards the suburbs, just due to a few different issues with labor costs and everything since COVID, I think, shifted to big cities, so.
Yeah, it's amazing out here in Illinois and Chicagoland area. It's the same thing. You got a lot of operators closing downtown, and the suburbs are the hot spot now, and I guess a little bit safer than going into the heart of the cities. So you said you're open now, your brick and mortar is 8 months?
We're going on, this is 11
months. Okay.
Yep.
So you went in, how was business when you first opened? Did you open up gangbuster?
So I didn't do a big grand opening. I didn't do a soft opening. I didn't do nothing. I did what's called an organic opening. I just opened. I didn't
Unlock the doors.
I didn't unlock the doors.
It's fantastic. So
which is
incredible.
incredible.
A lot of major changes you made from the start of your brick and mortar to where you're at today?
Yes, I've changed the type of flour that I've used. We use a heritage blend flour from Roma now that I think is fantastic. We use a great whole milk cheese, and I actually use the Roma brand cheese. And then I had the Stanislaus Tomato Company, had the reps come here and show me how to better use their tomatoes. And I think that's one thing that everybody needs to know when they first start their own pizza shop. You need to be reaching out to your reps, your food reps, and talking to them and say, hey, I want the guys from Stanislaus to come in here and talk to me. I want Grande to come in here and show me why I should pay $1 more per pound. If you ask your reps this stuff, they will come in and teach you how to use their product. They want you to use their product a better way. So when I had Stanislaus come in and they showed me, they go, Keith, you're using 4 different products. You only need to use 2. My sauce infinitely got better,
And your inventory got tighter.
Inventory got tighter, food costs went down, and the product went up because I was able to talk to the rep.
So when you started working up there, I know, one of the things, we talk with a lot of people is, at the end of the day is water. So, we have a lot of people that are in a lot of areas that the water is, horrible. So how's the water out in Colorado? You got bad water.
It's bad. It's really, really hard. Really hard. And what that does, you got too much calcium, magnesium, zinc, iron, all that stuff. It overstimulates the glutens. It makes a more denser crust. And you can see it in every part of your life. Your shower head has a white buildup of calcium. You boil water. My dad boils water every day because he makes instant coffee. Why, I don't know. But he boils water every day. There's a thick layer on the bottom of that pot of calcium and stuff build up. It's in everything. And it's not the best water. It's full of chlorine. I still bought an RO system and was able to hook it up to the faucets and was able to RO my water when I was in the commissary, then was trying to replicate a New York water. But it is so wasteful. It is so time consuming. And
And you
then you're
almost
sitting there
strip
playing
it down.
scientist.
And
Yeah,
you strip it down too much. Like people don't realize what makes New York water what it is so mineral rich when it
yeah,
comes down from the Catskill Mountains, and
yeah,
it's grabbing all those minerals. So
yeah.
an RO system and certain filtration systems aren't the right answer.
No, no,
Um,
you have to add the minerals back. And so then you have to play scientist. Then you're sitting there playing, dinking with these little mineral. It's so inefficient. It takes forever and it wastes 8 gallons to every 1 gallon produced. And it was just as simply a system that I couldn't wrap my head around putting it in the restaurant. I said, that doesn't even make sense.
sure.
Um, and then you look at this New York water system. When I first saw the New York water system, I actually saw it on the Barstool Sports. Dave Portnoy did a review with his favorite college campus pizza. And the guy there was saying, man, I got this water system. And I started researching it. And I'm like, oh, man, that is the answer to all my questions. Because I saw it was wasting nothing. No water is wasted. It's filtering it, it's purifying it, and it's getting those minerals to the exact levels that we wanted them. And more importantly, I could now use it in my ice machine. I can use it in the carbonated drinks, and I can use it in the water for our soda machine and our dough station. So now you can actually use this filtration for every part of the restaurant experience. And having good drinking water is an important thing for me at a restaurant. There's nothing I hate more than going to a restaurant and I sit down to eat the meal and you taste the water and it tastes like they got it out of a pool or something. It's just gross.
But and people don't realize when it comes to water, most people are doing a 60, 65, 70, 80% hydration dough.
Yeah,
80% of your recipe is
yeah,
water. And
yeah,
it makes it such an important thing that next
yep,
to your flour, this is gonna make,
yep.
it's a game changer.
It is. It is. And like I said, it's about the total dining experience. If somebody wants to have a glass of water or a good iced tea or a good soda or whatever it is, you want their whole experience to be good. You want good water.
So did your whole team see the difference in the dough
Oh
once you
man.
put this filtration system?
The boys, when they first started rolling the dough balls, could feel it. You could feel it. You could feel it in the dough. It was crazy. And then we started cooking it, and it was just like literally hands down a no-brainer. And this is how I know it was the water. It was exactly the water because I take dough is science, I'm sure you teach this to everybody too. Cooking's cooking, baking is science. This stuff is science. I'm telling you. And so I've got log books up here, right? I'm looking at them right now. We have all the variables written down. We temperature the water, obviously. We then temp the dough when it comes out of the mixer to make sure that the ambient temperature in the room isn't overheating the dough. Because if it was, then we could adjust the water temperature to do something. But we check the temperature of the dough when it comes out of the mixer. And then we have to make sure the proof time and the proof temperature is right. And then you have to make sure that the container you're putting it in is right. Because my plastic containers that I had for the smaller ones will proof it faster than my metal containers because I prefer the metal. The metal holds that cold in there a little bit better. But your proof time, your proof temperature, your water temperature, and like I said, to make sure your ambient temperature in your restaurant is all working. I had all those logs before. So I knew when I added the New York WaterMaker, we was doing everything the exact same as we were before. So we knew we weren't
And that
messing
made a
with any
difference.
variables. Oh, it's unreal. It's unreal. It's a little, those airier, but it still has a chewiness to it, but it's so crisp and so nice. You
You
can't
could
beat it.
feel the difference.
Oh
It's
man.
funny because Chicago's known, has pretty decent water,
Okay.
compared to New York where I grew up and now I'm out here. But I met the guys from New York WaterMaker when I was building out the academy, and they were telling me about it, and I'm like, I'm like, I don't know about this, and I'm like, do I put a filtration system? And then started thinking, well, you know what, we're going to start getting people in from all over the country to do training, where a lot of bad water out there.
Yeah.
So maybe it'll be good so they can see. So then I'm going back and forth, and then I talked with a baker in Jersey.
Yeah.
And where Joe uses the system. And I says, you know what? I'm going to talk with him. If he's true bake, he's going to give me a straight answer. So,
yeah.
And he's on the Jersey Shore with his really crappy water also.
Yeah.
So I says, Joe, talk to me. I says, is this system? And he looked at me, he says, Anthony, I'm telling you as a baker, he's like, I'm telling you as somebody who I thought I made great bread. When I put this system in my bakery, it changed. He says, and I couldn't believe it from the first batch. And I could look at his face and see he was serious. And I'm like, you're not BSing me, huh? He says, no. He says, it changed my whole game in my bakery. So that was when I says, okay, I'm going to put it here in the academy, and then we're going to bring it and let people see and understand and realize the value of it. So since you've changed, have you seen also a difference in your customers in what they've said, or how your business has been?
Yeah, so that was the cool part too, is we have a lot of regulars at our place. We have people that eat here every single day. I literally have people that eat here every single day. They could tell before I announced we're using the WaterMaker. They go, why? That was different. It's better. And so that was one thing. But most importantly, like I said, for 16 years out in Colorado, been making pizza, and every single place, it didn't matter where I worked at. Didn't matter. Like I said, one of the places I worked at was called Guido's. Rick was a 6'3" Guido from Jersey. He's as Jersey as it get. His grandmother's Italian. Everybody's Italian. He has the most authentic, that he told me, Jersey pizza you could possibly make. And know what everybody said? They go, well, it's good, but it's all about the water. And you can't replicate the New York pizza because you don't have the water. And that was the saying I got from every single customer from Jersey, is they go, it's good, but I'm sick of hearing the but. I don't hear that but anymore. This is the same. That's the biggest difference.
That's great. Yep. That's great.
And I will tell you this, like I said, my business has more than doubled. In fact, it went up by 200 to 400% multiple days, like consistently. Like my Fridays have gone up 200%. But my business for the last 2 months of using this system has maintained more than double. When I first did the opening, I had a line wrapped around the building. I will say, numbers wise right now, we got 1 more month to do, but we're on track to hit just under $1 million in sales in our first year open. I have people driving several hours away to try my pizza because they grew up in New York. They grew up in Jersey. They know how much the water system means to them. And then the interesting side was that I thought was pretty unique too, is there's a lot of people, like my parents are from Ohio and they lived out here for 30 years and they go, I never heard of New York water. Why is that? So even if they don't, if they don't understand what the big deal is in getting New York water, what they can understand, Colorado water is hard. New York water is softer. It's filtered and it's disinfected. It's better water. Everyone can wrap their head around the fact that better water is better because no one drinks tap water out here. Everybody's got a filter system. Everybody's filtering their stuff out here. Everyone complains of the hard water. So they understand that getting a better water, even if they don't understand why New York water is the best, they can understand that getting a better water is going to make a better product.